one of the things I love most about all PDQ products is you are given this tool set and you can extend it and you can, like, for lack of a better word, hack it to do whatever the heck you want. And so I got to thinking of, okay, well, if you're managing user profiles with this, what I have is I basically have remote code execution. I have a built-in scheduler. I can do really whatever I want. And so the thought was here, well, I have a PowerShell scanner that runs every 12 hours or after deployment. That sounds a whole lot like group policy.
Yeah.
That sounds a whole lot like Intune. And what if I don't like those things?
I don't. Let's stop it. Let's stop using those.
I want to use Connect to do it instead. So Claude and I, speaking of, went on an adventure. And we did some things that probably are better suited for group policy or Intune, but we're going to do them inside of Connect.
I love it. Let's do it.
Where do you want to start?
User profiles, since we talked about that one.
So you talked about this one. Hey, user profiles, again, like I've got a PowerShell scanner. A PowerShell scanner can take action on a scheduled time. And in the PDQ land forever, it's been, hey, write a scanner. This has been the normal. Write a scanner, get your data, build a group, build a package, do it. I didn't like that. Let's just do it all in one place.
Yeah.
Let's just do it in a scanner. Okay. So what this scanner does, right, is it goes and it grabs all of the user profiles on the device. It sees the last time they were used, and then it will delete anything older than that.
So let's go over this again. So at a set time, it's going to scan it in the morning and the night, just like group policy.
Yep.
You're looking for profiles over a certain date.
Yep.
Okay, continue.
Yep. And it's also going to emit some data for me too, right? So it's going to do two things. It's emitting the data that I want about local user profiles, and it's also deleting stuff that's older than 180 days old.
Yep.
Right? So here's what we've got, right? All of these are the local profiles that are on here, and its size and its local path, all of the stuff you might want here. And where's the date since it was last used?
Last used time.
It's somewhere in here. Oh, last used timestamp is right here.
Okay.
And so it's day since. So all of these have been used fairly regularly, but imagine you're in a computer lab or a library where you get stuff that just rolled in here.
Yep.
And you can just change this age threshold. It's just an int in the script up above. And then you start deleting stuff. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So first policy is there. Let's do one that's maybe a little trickier. And let's look at local admin drift.
Okay.
One thing that is pretty common in most environments is that I have a set of local administrators, whether it be by group, by name, anything like that. And I only want those to be there. And if anything else isn't there, it should be removed.
I love this one already.
I can do it in group policy. I can also do it here in Connect. Same exact kind of setup here, right? So what's going to happen here is I'm going to protect the built-in administrator account is true. You can set that to false. That's a fail-safe there. That's going to leave it there. And then what you can do is you give it a allow list of what you want. So it can either be by any format here that you want, like local.
Like don't touch these ones.
Don't touch these. It can be groups like domain admins, endpoint admins. You can whitelist specific SIDs, or you can even do a pattern. So maybe you do like domain/IT-Bob, Bob, Jane, whatever. You can put that in here as well. Okay. This one also has another parameter that's built in that is a audit mode is true.
Yeah.
I would suggest running all of them as audit mode true versus false because it will take action. This isn't just a scanner. This is returning data and taking action at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're not going to bore everybody with hundreds of lines of script. What we're going to do is we're actually just going to run it against Cocoa Krispies and we're going to show what the output is, right?
Yeah.
So this is actually running in audit mode. And one of the columns that it's going to admit into this is it, would it have been deleted, right? So all of these, because I don't have anything here, is whitelisted false. So in audit mode, it would actually say, I'm going to go remove all of these on the next run,
that's
which is
important.
probably something you don't want, right? It's going to remove administrator, domain admins. That's probably not something you want. But you can see that audit mode was true, would remove is true, except for this one here is false. We said at the very, very top of our script, if you remember, protect the local administrator named administrator.
Yeah.
So if this ran, what would happen is that these two would get removed and this one would stay.
Okay. So run it the first time.
Yep.
Be careful. And then
see what's going to be there.
Yeah.
Run it again.
Mm-hmm.
See that your allow lists are matching what you want, and then you turn it on.
Yep.
And so then what happens in practice is you have this scanner running. It's just returning the data you want anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if it catches a machine where someone's added a local admin, it's going to remove it.
Love it.
Right?
They already want these scripts.
Okay. Last one. Let's look at, this one's a little trickier too. You want to look at the host file or you want to look at BitLocker status?
Host file.
Okay.
They already want this one.
Same exact setup as the previous one. You don't want host file to be modified. All this script is going to do is right here, we got a Boolean that's like reset host file to default is false. This right now is just going to return you what's in the host file.
You can put what you want in the host file, and if you alter it,
it'll show the alter stuff.
Okay.
And if you set it back to true, what'll happen is it'll just keep that host file across your fleet the same.
Gotcha.
But what this also does is it omits this like one row here if it's just a clean summary, like just so that you know that the script is running. So if the finding type is clean summary, then it's just like, hey, this host file has not been manipulated.
Perfect.
If someone has added something, pointed to like back in the day, Adobe activation servers back to localhost to get past Photoshop licensing, like people used to do, it would actually show this here in the script for you.
Love this one too.
Okay. The last one is just a BitLocker kind of escrow. Again, something that you should probably be doing in Intune or Active Directory, but we can do it here.
Let's do it.
So what this does is it looks to see if devices are encrypted with BitLocker, any fixed media. This again has like a switch in the script that says is audit mode or not. This one is in audit mode. But any fixed disk, once it's not in audit mode, it will automatically encrypt that disk and turn on BitLocker. It then will do a detection on the device to say, is it Active Directory joined or is it Azure AD Intune joined? And then attempt to escrow the BitLocker recovery key to the appropriate identity source.
Okay.
So it'll do that a couple times. And when it starts to fail, one of the columns in here is like escrow time, escrow recovery, embedded, is like it's enable failed is true because this is here. One of them in here is it's auto try to escrow and failed multiple times. So if it's already been escrowed, that should be 0 because it's been there. If that column starts to increment, like 1, 2, 3, where it's tried to escrow 3 or 4 times, there's actually a problem with that machine.
Oh.
So that's how you can kind of get this to hopefully automatically do stuff, but it will keep incrementing on the machine if it's failed. So is attempted escrowed greater than 2 could be one of your groups in Connect. And then you have an escrow problem with that device that you need to go take action on.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, as devices roll in here, it'll just automatically be doing it for you.
I love all of these.
Okay. Fun little thing you can do, kind of a hold my energy drink. Not really what this feature was intended for, but something you can do with it. Maybe a new way to use the product.
I love it.
Thanks for watching this segment from PDQ Live. If you like this, you'll love the full show. Check it out every Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain. Oh, and like and subscribe, please.